Uh, Hey guys, can you hear me? I'm having some issues here. It does yeah, it does look like I'm work. The mic is working. There we go. Now you can at least hear me, right? Uh, yeah, this layout's kind of lame, huh? So I just thought I would hang out tonight. Working on some stuff for my kids for Christmas. Hey Molly, how's it going? So I don't really have a plan for tonight. I was kind of trying to work out something to talk about. I was thinking 5 secret successful detective use something. I don't know, but um let's see, maybe I could show you what I've actually been doing the last few weeks like crazy and I needed a break. It might not show up on here. Let me see. Um, hmm. Here we go. It is gonna show up, I think. Well, let's just nope, that's not it. Sorry. There it is. This is what I've been working on. Let me just double check and see if it's showing up. Yeah. This if you can well, it looks like I've got something highlighted so you can't see the word count yet, but this thing is massive. My son asked me to like I said, "Hey, since I got you this expensive thing for your birthday, I'm not gonna be able to get you a Christmas present, but maybe I can write you a story, right?" Then he asked me to mail it to him. So that's where this whole thing came from. I think it's sharing. Yeah, this is. But yeah, if you could see down here at the bottom, that's a lot of words. And it's I mean, it's massive and it's almost done. I'm just trying to go through and work on some stuff. Mostly like I got to edit the formatting and stuff. Um, let's see. I think I was just finishing up just started working on this one. Um, the chapter 10. This is the kids book, by the way. So Molly, what are you doing up so late? Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really have a lot I can well, I mean, I guess we could oh, it is Saturday night. Did you have fun? I would turn on my camera, but I haven't even combed my hair. Like I've been like I got home Friday and I started working on this because it's set up as a pre-order on Amazon, right? I set it up like 3 or 4 months ago and I just realized I have this deadline. Obviously, I want to have it done before Christmas, but well, I'm glad you had fun. I don't get out much, but yeah, this story, I'm kind of proud of it. I don't know that it's that good. I've got another story that I wrote that's pretty good that I'm actually trying to get an agent for. This one, I think if I didn't have to publish this one like before Christmas so I can, you know, keep my promise to my 9-year-old, I think another 6 months I could have this thing pretty cool. It would be really good. So once I do publish it, I would wait for version 2 because it's a good story. It's hard to stop, uh, working on it sometimes, but yeah, I know it's not that exciting. It's not, but, honestly, I've been having a hard time, like, getting excited about true crime. Like, it's weird. Um, I wanna get on here and, cover stuff, but I think the trivia that I do, I think that's, like, I don't know, it just I've talked about the secondary trauma many times, and, I think that whenever I'm doing this stuff, I'm able to kind of detach enough that I'm thinking about it, um, through an academic lens rather than, you know, I don't know. It doesn't work. It's like bled over, and it's getting harder and harder to like hop on here and talk about a case. Um, I could always do Chris Watts because I think I could talk about that, but I think I lost a bunch of subscribers because I just won't like pick a side. Like there seems to be like two kinds of channels on YouTube, and there's the ones that want to talk about Chris Watts in the worst ways possible. And I don't know that I'm just not, I just can't do it. I've tried. I've came pretty close to like the line and I just can't do it, unfortunately. But I am working on a Lori Vallow video, but it's slow going because, well, I've been working on this thing. Um, It's 42,000 words. For a 9-year-old, that's gonna be a huge book, and it's, like, keeps getting bigger and bigger. It started out, it was just gonna be, like, 2 or 3,000 words. I was planning just to write him a little short story that he could read on his mom's phone, and then he asked me to, he's like, "Daddy, can you print it off and mail it to me?" And I don't know, I kinda just went overboard, um, on this story. I mean, I guess it's because it's an interesting story. I don't know. Let me look up who Rebecca Park is. I think I've recently heard about this, but, um, the name sounds familiar anyway. Oh, yeah. Hmm. So I'm looking at People Magazine. Rebecca Park was found dead in Michigan forest on November 25th. That was less than a month ago. This was a few weeks after she had gone missing. Her mom and stepfather, Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew, had been charged with murder. Huh. How old was Rebecca Park? That's what I'm looking for right now. Um, Courtney allegedly confessed to cutting Park's unborn child. What the heck? I haven't read about this, Molly. This is an interesting, 22 years old and your stepmom. Oh my god. Yeah, let me see what else I could. That's just insane. Oh, crap. Got too many tabs open here, and I just accidentally opened another one. Um, so there's several disturbing details. She was pregnant. Um, she was only a few weeks away from her due date. That makes it even more horrible. She was last seen on November 3rd leaving her mother's home, um, and they spent weeks trying to find her, and they found her in Michigan forest, a Michigan forest. I don't know which one. I could probably find out. Um, but there's no sign of the baby, and the autopsy showed that she was no longer pregnant. I don't know how. Oh my god, that you're right, Molly. That doesn't say stepmom. I don't know where I got that from. That says mother. In my head, I guess it makes more sense that it's not a biological parent doing this. Um, Stepfather. She has a stepfather. So it was her mother and stepfather. So I guess I would assume that it was probably the stepfather's idea. At least I would like to think that a parent can't do that to a child and a grandchild. That's just crazy. Um, Rebecca's sister and fiance, Kimberly and Richard, what? Were arrested and arraigned on several charges. This just keeps getting crazier and crazier. This just happened recently. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I am gonna have to do a video on this. This is bizarre. So let me go back a little bit to the details here. So it was her mom and stepfather, Courtney and Bradley Bartholomew, who have been charged with murder. But the next day, Park's sister and fiance, Kimberly Park and Richard Fowler, were arrested and later arraigned on several charges and released on bail. Then um, Courtney and Bartholomew were arrested on December 1st. During their courtroom appearance the next day, prosecutors claimed that Park's mother removed the child from her mother's womb. The Wexford County prosecutor, her name is Joanna Carey, um, said that this is a case of premeditated torture and murder. Frankly, this is evil personified, she said. This is a case of premeditated torture and murder. The pair of them created a plan, conducted research, and carried it out. I don't know much about this case yet, Molly, but I mean, I'm just looking at a couple of well, this article is in People magazine. I'm sure there's better ones, but I just can't believe it. I don't know why the sister got arrested and what they were arraigned on, if the charges were dismissed or if they were a party to this also. Here, let me see if I can pull this let me just at least take that down. And I can't shrink that either. So, whoops. I got this cool background, but you can't see it. Now you can see it, but there we go. Um, yeah, this article is crazy. I'm trying to see. There were allegedly several affairs going on between the family members. What? Um, the the woman that I see, Courtney Bartholomew, the image of her, I don't know, she looks kinda scary. Let me try to share this one. That woman looks scary. But, I mean, the other people this is the sister and her fiancé. Criminal complaints filed in a Michigan court and obtained by people show that her mom and sister were all allegedly involved with the same man. What? Um, during, the hearing, Courtney and Bradley's hearing on December 2nd, prosecutors shared some gruesome details. Mr. Bartholomew brought Rebecca to their home and forced her into another vehicle and then took her into the woods where they stabbed her, forced her to lie on the ground while they cut out the baby, ultimately caused her death and the death of the baby. Courtney had attempted to maintain her innocence by posting a Facebook video. There's a Facebook video. Where is that? Let me see if I can find that. I'm looking for that now. Rebecca was marrying the mother's ex. Are you? No way. Did you ever watch Jerry Springer? Because this is like one of those stories, only it went way too far. I'm looking for it now. I'll play it. Even if it doesn't let my video get monetized or whatever. Hold on. And shoot, where'd it go? I lost my browser tab. Oh, man. Okay, well, at least I still got the live going. I've got way too many browsers open. Um, it's not coming up. They probably some. I can see all of these people reacting to the video, but I can't see the actual video. Oh, I think I found it. Yep. Yep. I found it. This says there's a warning that this has got some very sensitive content. But let me see if I can share it. I'm glad you brought this up because this is kind of interesting. I was just planning on kind of hanging out if anybody was around. I don't know that I'm actually going to be able to do a live tomorrow, and I just needed a break from writing. But this is interesting. All right, so this is it. Let's see what happens.
Based on what's been presented to it today, the probable cause affidavit I've read and various search warrants I've read, the defendant is both a flight risk and a threat to the community.
This doesn't look like what I expected.
I am going to order. No. This is the case of the people of the state of Michigan versus Courtney Marie Bartholomew. It is alleged in count number 1 that you committed the offense of homicide, murder in the first degree, premeditated. In count number 2, it is alleged that you committed the offense of homicide, felony murder. In count number 3, it is alleged that you committed the offense of torture. In count number 4, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit torture with Bradley Bartholomew. In count number 5, it is alleged that you committed the offense of assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage or stillborn. In count number 6, it is alleged that you committed the offense of conspiracy to commit assault, pregnant individual, intentionally causing miscarriage, stillbirth. In count number 7, it is alleged that you committed the offense of unlawful imprisonment. In count number 8, it is alleged that you committed the offense of dead bodies removing without medical examiner permission.
This is crazy. I only laugh because I don't know what else to do. I mean, this is crazy. 1 count of homicide in the first degree of up to life in prison. Count 2, felony murder up to life in prison. Count 3, torture up to life in prison. Count 4, conspiracy to commit torture up to life in prison and or a $10,000 fine. You know, I'm not sure why these fines are even like done, because how is she going to pay it? You know, count 5, assault intentionally causing a miscarriage up to life in prison. Count 6, conspiracy to commit assault and intentionally causing a miscarriage up to life in prison and another $10,000 fine. Count 7, unlawful imprisonment up to 15 years in prison and a $20,000 fine. Count 8, removing a dead body up to 1 year, or that's and so is that other one up there, 15 years in prison and or a $20,000 fine. But Molly, is this the video? Is this the video that I'm still looking here? Let me stop sharing that. Yeah, I didn't think so. I mean, that's still interesting. But I can't find the one with, because like she supposedly like tried to pretend that let me see if this one's it. Nope, somebody else reacting to it. I don't know if it's going to be easy to find. If you got a link, share it on TikTok. I don't know if I can do that on my computer. Let me pull it up. Rebecca, what was her? Shoot. Park, Rebecca Park. Maybe they took it down. Rebecca mom. Let me see. Yeah, it's just people talking about her. I don't know what that is, but that is not the same Rebecca. Oh, crap. It wants me to log in. I don't think I ever know the password to log in on TikTok on my computer. Nope. I have reached the maximum number of attempts, it says, and I only tried once. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still looking. You know, you'd think it'd be like the first thing that pops up. The only thing, maybe this is it. Ooh, this might be it. I have no volume. Nope, this is somebody else's channel. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Does it got a reporter in it? Here, I'm just gonna play this one. Oops. We'll at least see some of it. Oh, crap.
While she was alive, she was tortured.
There's no way you could have known that
Tortured. While she was alive, she was.
Wow.
My daughter was tortured. While she was alive, she was tortured.
there's no way you could have known that there was a monster.
I mean, I knew she was capable of bad stuff, but this is not something that anybody even considers.
The trouble you've had with her biological mom, Courtney, has been going on for a long time.
I've always known that she was trouble. I've
What?
had to have
Who is
restraining
this?
orders against her and stuff.
The adopted mom.
Our phone numbers
There's
changed.
another
Their address
line.
changed. The kids' names had to be all changed. First, middle, last, social securities, everything changed.
Rebecca was so pregnant. I mean, she was just about to give birth.
That's why I'm sure that Courtney did what she did at the time. Courtney wanted the baby, and she was going to do anything she had to get it. My daughter was
That is crazy. So there's another video with the actual mom that, wow. That is crazy. So, yeah, I'm looking some information up, and I guess she was actually rescued in 2004. A caseworker called Stephanie Park with an urgent request. We have 3 kids that need somebody right now. And I think that's the woman we just saw. That night, Stephanie went to Walmart. She bought diapers, formulas, clothes, everything she would need for a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old, and a newborn. You know, this was 20 years ago, 21 years ago. The boy, Tim, was the oldest. He had underdeveloped social skills from the horrible environment that he was raised in. Kimberly, the newborn, was malnourished to a degree that is just, you know, you hear about neglect charges and cases, and there's some horrible cases that involve children out there. And I try to think about the ones that survive, but every once in a while you hear about the ones that don't. And if a child is malnourished, I mean, it could cause physical problems, leading up to like organ failure. Like you think of malnourished meant, maybe they're feeding them candy bars rather than, peas and carrots, but it's more than that. It kind of just depends. Let me see. And Rebecca was 1 years old. She was wearing clothes sized for infants half her age. So she was wearing like 6-month-old clothes when she was a year old, or probably a little more than a year old. She flinched when anyone tried to touch her. The state had removed them from the care of a woman named Courtney Fox. Visitation was arranged, then visitation was terminated. The parental rights were severed entirely. And that's what she was saying about how they had to change their names, their social security cards, everything. That is horrible. Children, they don't deserve this. There's no reason for an adult to hurt a child like that. There just really isn't. If you can't take care of it, there's somebody who will. You don't have to do that. It's kind of hard to read this stuff and not think about my own kids. I took my kids to the doctor every time their cough sounded funny. I couldn't imagine not feeding them or letting them live in an environment where they, I don't know. I just imagine this filthy place where nobody's even changing diapers. I, my oldest son, he would get really, really dry skin, and, we'd have to lather him up in like lotion, like all over him, all over his back. And, otherwise it would just keep getting worse and worse. It was weird, but, I just can't imagine a parent not doing that. And then of course he outgrew that. It was just a baby thing. And that woman in that video that we just saw, she literally hid those kids from their real mother. So when they grew up and became adults, adults are allowed to make their own choices. And at some point, Rebecca reconnected with her biological mother. Courtney Fox had become Courtney Bartholomew, married a man named Bradley, living in a small community. Boone, I don't know where that is. I guess I can understand why Rebecca would go back. It's her biological mother. I mean, of course, you've probably got questions. She was a baby, so she probably doesn't remember. And, she probably wanted to forgive her for whatever she did and hope that she had changed. But my God, this is an awful, awful case. And Rebecca was just about to become a mother herself. Or no, she was a mother. She had 2 boys, 2 and 3 years old already. That's oh, my. Yeah, this is a tough case to read the information on. I think I was mentioning earlier how hard it's been for me to like really dive in to the into the true crime, and it's cases like this one. These are the ones that don't make national news all the time. But if you're, reading about true crime and trying to find new things to talk about on a YouTube channel like I do, you end up finding all of these cases. There's thousands of them, and it's just horrible. And I don't know, it just lately I've been having a hard time like getting up enough energy to write about true crime. Um, I think I wrote the Lori Daybell stuff about a month and a half ago. I haven't written anything lately, true crime related. I've been sticking with the fiction, and it's been it's keeping me busy, which is good. I'm up here in Alaska. I don't really do a lot. I just work and come home, and I feel like um, at least the last couple of years, all I've done is research and write. But the kind of trauma that that woman went through as a child, man, I just wish somebody could have stopped her from going back to meet her mother. Like, it sounds like her life was better. She'd grown up in a home where she was cared for. And I mean, my God, she had 2 kids, and somebody killed her and her unborn child, leaving her children, Rebecca's children, without a mother, that they're going to have this trauma, this stigma with them for the rest of their lives because of this woman. And all she's going to get is a few fines and life in prison for it. It's just not fair. It's not fair at all. Man, um, I've seen this in the news over the last couple days, and I thought about checking it out. Um, I guess there was a um, some kind of text or phone call um, asking. Wait, she texted someone from multiple phones, then deleted something. That's what her adopted mother, or no, that's what her mother would tell investigators. She didn't know which phone it might have been on. So, I mean, that's crazy right there. Was she trying to get help? And then at some point, Rebecca said, well, this says her mother. So I'm not sure if that means the biological mother or the mother. But she texted, "Hold on, I got somebody to pick me up. This is just something I've got to do. I'm sorry." And that was the last message that anybody got from her. Huh. Yeah, the adopted mom was smart, um, you know, protecting them. But I guess I mean, you can't blame her for anything because Rebecca was an adult, but Rebecca didn't understand what type of person this was. Is the probable, I mean, that's the thing. Um, that is this is just a horrible story. Her abdomen was open. Um, the placenta and umbilical cord were hanging from her body. It says here in this report. I mean, I just don't understand how somebody could have thought that that was okay to do. That somehow they were going to keep the baby? It makes no sense to me. This is a level of brutality that's just hard to imagine. Bradley Bartholomew has a criminal record that goes back to the early 2000s, or maybe all the way back to 2000s. He committed, let's see, he got a conviction for criminal sexual conduct with a minor aged 13 to 15, possession of child's sexual abuse material, repeated failures to register as a sex offender. He has been to prison multiple times. He was on parole as recently as 2020. Rebecca's fiance, Richard Fowler, the father of the unborn child, has his own history of sexual offenses against minors. See, that's where I think it gets weird. But this Richard Fowler was romantically with Rebecca and her sister Kimberly and their mother Courtney. I just can't like wrap my head around this. It just seems like fiction. It's crazy. I'm still trying to find that other video, but all I can find is other people's videos. Maybe if I try searching biological. Yeah, it looks like all I can find is other people's videos on this. Um, let's see. I guess we'll just listen to this one. No, I don't know this. Yeah, I'll share this video.
You.
We won't listen to this whole thing, but
They went through my whole entire house.
I think that's the voice of the biological.
The forensics team was here. The cadaver dogs were here.
You want to see that one
The
again?
sonar was here last night.
Is Brad with you?
Yes.
Were you able to clear up the confusion on his polygraph test or no?
Here, I'm gonna pause this one.
They know that he was here this whole time that she's been missing, so.
Right.
Oh my! I've got an open video of something playing. Okay, I'm just gonna close everything. I've just got too many tabs open. All right, let me find this again. Sorry. Okay, so I found that one again. Here it is.
My daughter was tortured while she was alive. She was tortured.
There's no way you could have known that there was a monster.
I mean, I knew she was capable of bad stuff, but this is not something that anybody even considers.
The trouble you've had with her biological mom, Courtney, has been going on for a long time.
I've always known that she was trouble. I've had to have restraining orders against her and stuff in the past. Our phone numbers changed, their address changed, the kids' names had to be all changed, first, middle, last, social securities, everything changed.
Rebecca was so pregnant. I mean, she was just about to give birth.
That's why I'm sure that Courtney did what she did at the time. Courtney wanted the baby, and she was going to do anything she had to get it.
But why? Why? Why did she need the baby? You know? It just makes no sense to me at all. None. I hope I could find that other video. I should be able to find it. I found it a minute ago. It was like 27 minutes long. Where's my history? Okay, I found it. So you guys want to hear some of this one too? It's looks like it's 30 minutes long. I'm not going to play it all.
They went through my whole entire house. The forensics team was here. The cadaver dogs were here. Sonar was here last night.
Is Brad with you?
Yes.
Were you able to clear up the confusion on his polygraph test or no?
No. They know that he was here this whole time that she's been missing, so.
Right. So we're confused because Kimmy and Rich are in jail. And I have to admit, Courtney, at times we've thought that you and Brad have to know somehow. How do you feel about people listening to you point them to the trails behind your home, and then the next morning she's found on the trails behind your home?
That is, oh my God. This woman got on TikTok and did an interview like she was a true crime, victim, and she's the killer. Like, this is like a Chris Watts level kind of cover-up attempt, I think. I can't believe she would do this. And then just sound so calm.
We were going off of what Kimmy had asked Brad and our assumptions of her asking that were right.
When did the time frame, if you can remember, when did Kimmy start asking you about the trails?
Before
Rebecca went missing? Like how long before?
Yes. Like I think it was like the Saturday before.
The Saturday before. So so that kind of points to like this was planned, like she may have planned this, like a premeditated type of move.
We thought it was just so that her and her friends could go out trail riding.
I understand. Have you suspected Kimmy this whole time?
Every time that we would bring up like an idea or something, she would, no, that's no good. We're not going to do that. We put a piece of paper on the wall. Well, it's like a whiteboard, and I told her to start writing down ideas and everything, and she's like, no, I'm not.
That's the link to this video if you guys want to try to find it.
At what point did you and Brad, this is after Rebecca went missing, looked at each other and said, I think Kimmy is involved in this. Did you kind of know right away, like as soon as she went missing, or did it take a little bit?
When she told us Saturday that she was in the car and she put her on the bus, that's when we were like, that doesn't seem right. Something's not right.
Okay.
I think this.
Kimmy said that she was going to tell the police.
Go ahead.
She said that she was going to tell the police about Becca being out of state.
The sister,
Right.
I believe. I'm trying to find
Something like this has happened before.
So I kind of read through some of the news stuff about this case. She had a sister and her sister's fiance. They went to jail initially, and I think this interview is while those two are in jail, and the biological mom is at home still. There was some kind of weird love triangle thing going on between the sisters and the mother and this guy who was a sex offender. Like he had actual charges of failure to register, and he had sexual assault charges of minors and stuff. And she's on here telling this story like, she's just finding out about it, and she wasn't there.
it's been many, 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 many years. And that incident in Texas was because the woman wanted a baby. Do you feel like Kimmy done it because she wanted the baby? Or do you think that something nefarious happened and she tried to save the baby?
Kimmy was sitting here on her computer on the dark web. She said that she was looking for her sister, but I don't believe it now.
But what about the baby? Do you think that she would really? Because we have one or two situations here, and I hate to talk about it because I know it's your family and I know it's hard to talk about. But the baby is not there, so she either took the baby and done something like the baby's still alive, which we hope.
So did they actually find the baby and it didn't survive? Because I believe I read that the baby didn't survive. I'm gonna start this video. Let this continue. I'm gonna look, try to find out.
Or she tried to save the baby and was unable to. And then the baby is in a separate place. And if so, why not put the baby with his mom? It seems almost evil.
Almost.
I don't know. I can't speculate on it. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what any of them were thinking. Because there's one other person that has not been arraigned or booked in yet.
One other person that has not been arraigned or booked in. So we don't know this person's name yet.
No.
You're not talking about Michael Mercer, are you?
Who's that?
No.
Because it was his father who was in jail's PayPal card that was found there by her. What do you think about that?
She said she lost it.
Kimmy said she lost that PayPal card.
Yes. She told us that she lost it. She just didn't know what happened to it. She was going to have to get a new one, she said.
What?
Michael Mercer is from Cadillac, Michigan. I've also never heard of this place either. And he's been mentioned in social media discussions related to the Rebecca Park case. He has been arrested for unrelated methamphetamine delivery charges, not in connection with the murder. He was an 18-year-old. He was arrested on drug charges. Looks like at least one other time in 2022. But I wonder where they got his name from. I think I heard something about they found something in her car or his car or something of his. I'm going to rewind it just a bit.
She said she lost it.
Kimmy said she lost that PayPal card.
Yes. She told us that she lost it. She just didn't know what happened to it. She was going to have to get a new one, she said.
What? I have to admit, Rich is a yucky person. I've called him that word. But I said, I don't think he's involved here. I think I was wrong. I mean, I know I was totally wrong here, maybe, because everything is alleged and everybody's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. What do you think has happened here between Rich and Kimmy? Do you think Rich is going to be charged with tampering with evidence, or will he be charged with homicide as well?
So Rich is the sister's fiance, right? I'm getting lost in the details here on all these names. It's crazy.
Or both?
I don't know. I have a source that said he called last night and there was no emotions about Becca. There was no emotion about the baby. There was no emotion at all.
Did he proclaim his innocence in any way to this person?
No, he told her that he admitted it.
Oh, really? So that's on a recorded jail call?
From what I'm understanding, yes.
Oh, man, they will use that against him in court. This whole time I didn't do anything. I'm not done anything.
That statement was just kind of funny. Oh, they're going to use that in court against him. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I was trying to figure out who Michael Mercer was. So,
And you let
she mentioned him some time
Rich
ago, but I can't.
Kimmy
find-
said that was you're not talking about Michael Mercer, are you?
Oh, here it is.
No.
Because it was his father who was in jail's PayPal card that was found there by her. What do you?
That's where they got the name from. They found or actually, I don't know what I just heard. Something about a PayPal card and
Yet
No.
you're not talking about Michael Mercer, are you?
No.
Because it was his father who was in jail's PayPal card that was found there.
that was in jail's PayPal card. What is she saying? Because I think I'm not hearing it right. It sounds weird.
By her. What do you
They found Michael Mercer's PayPal card by her. Is that what she just said?
think about that?
She said she lost it.
Kimmy said she lost that PayPal card.
Yes. She told us that she lost it. She just didn't know what happened to it. She was going to have to get a new one, she said.
I'm going to skip ahead.
What?
Well,
They went,
it looks
and
like it started
my
up.
truck is still here.
Right. We know by visual testimony from people who found your daughter. Thank you, Melissa. I appreciate that. That she was laid there peacefully with her eyes closed, obviously in a spot where she would have been seen because that spot had been searched before. And I think they narrowed down the timeline that she was probably moved overnight. If she was at Kimmy's with Kimmy or Rich, would they go so far as to bring her all the way back over behind your house?
I don't know. They weren't telling me any details last night when they were here.
This case is crazy, guys. This impromptu live, I didn't really have anything planned for tonight, but I'm going to look into this a little more and try to figure out who's who and what's actually like. I'm just lost. I don't understand most of this story from what I've heard just tonight for the first time. I've seen this pop up in the news recently, but I hadn't looked into it. And this interview is 27 minutes long. Here's the link again. You can go watch the whole thing. I believe this is before she actually gets arrested. She pretends to be an unaware family member of a victim. And, she gets this TikTok interview. And her other daughter, and her other daughter's fiance are already in prison, already in jail, on charges related to the murder. And this woman is saying that, oh, they must have done it. But I'm not sure how she ended up in jail. I don't know. I gotta do some research on this. But I do appreciate you guys hanging out a little bit tonight. I guess to go back to something lighter before I leave, I just want to talk about this story that I'm writing that's almost done. It should be done hopefully by tomorrow. I've got a full draft done. I'm just going through trying to edit it just a little bit. Let me see if I can find it again so I can pop it up here. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. But this is the story that I'm writing for my 9-year-old, who I got him a video game for his birthday, a Switch, and then his mother won't let him play it. The idea was, hey Maribel, I knew that, but I didn't know that. I mean, I know you've got a couple different screen names. I think you've been my Kentucky dog the entire time that you've been on here tonight. But yeah, this story, I don't know. The thing was I bought a Switch for my son so he could play video games with me, and then his mother wouldn't let him play video games. She won't even let him sign on to play online, and I set up the game system before I sent it to him. I set him up with his own child account so he can't have access to a lot of the features without my permission, and then his mom won't even let him connect to the internet. And I think she's only let him play it once. And the whole idea was that I would get to spend more time with him. But I told him, I wish I could, I probably shouldn't have got that for you. But now I can't get you something, cool for Christmas. But maybe I'll write you a story. And then he goes, Daddy, can you print it out and mail it to me? And that's how this story right here was born. If you look on Amazon, you'll see it pre-order. It's got this character has had a couple different names. I was actually about to change the name again. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. And you can see the actual cover, but the cover is the same, but the name changed. It was Elias Thornwood, and then it was Elias Calendor. And now I changed it to Elias Moon. I think it sounds good. When I write, I try to make things sound good. But I had this thing written out, and I don't know, it just keeps expanding. Chapter 6, I had like 1 through 15 done. But it turns out that there wasn't enough room for the story to breathe. So I had to turn chapter 6 into 4, I think actually 5 different chapters. So that's what these chapters are. And the Artificer chapter there, that was the first story arc that was that originally ended at chapter 7. And I think it's a good place to stop for a book. I mean, it's already 42,000 words, so I don't know that a 9-year-old will be able to get through it. I got to go in here and like fix the paragraph setup stuff, and most of the story is already there. But I think I could show you on Amazon. There's a pre-order. I'm gonna make it a print form. I don't recommend getting the print form because I think I'm going to keep working on it and maybe make some changes, significant changes. And if it's a print version, you can't just get an update. If it's a Kindle, I think I can just update it. Let's see. But so this here, is it still sharing? Yeah. So this is what I first came up with, and I think it's a pretty cool looking cover. The new cover says Elias Moon and the Sparrow's Call. I guess it just doesn't update, but there will be a paper copy of this. And if you could see there, it says that it's going to be ready by December 20th, right before Christmas. So I'm trying really hard, really hard to get it done before then. Yeah, you know what I've been doing with my kids lately. Let me see if I can share this. They are only allowed to talk to me on certain days for like 20 minutes. Sometimes I get lucky and their mom will forget that they're talking to me. I'll get like 30 minutes or 45 minutes. But where is it? It's in my. I don't know if this will let me share it, but I made a trivia game for them. As you know, I like to do trivia. I'd never thought about doing it for kids until recently. So I think it's here. No, but I know where I can find it. Let me see. Sorry, I know I said I was about to go. But I found it. I just got to see if I can open it. Oh, it's going to open up in the wrong browser. But it looks like it's going to work. Let me see if I can open it here. And then I'll just show you this real quick. We'll go through a couple of them. So this is what I made for my kids. So the next time they call, I can't set it up where they can click on it, but it's pretty cool. They are in a Mandarin school where they get to learn Chinese half the time. So I don't know if you could read that. Many kids start Mandarin with simple greetings. One of the first phrases they learn how to say is "thank you." Anybody know the answer? I'm not sure that I know. I think I know. I think it's C, Z. I don't even want to try to say it. But I was planning to put pictures in there. It's a lot harder to do. I have to go into the code. This is HTML and insert it. But it keeps track of how many you get right. And I was thinking I might be able to do this for true crime also. But it's really kind of hard to make this stuff. Sharks have been on Earth much longer than the dinosaurs. Scientists study their fossils to understand how ocean life evolved. How long have sharks existed? Anyone know the answer? Maribel, that book will be on Kindle. It will also be a physical copy, but I would wait for the second edition. I don't know what's going to get changed in it, but I have a feeling I need like 6 more months to work on it to make it good. It's good right now. It's a solid, good story. Oh, I got it wrong. Sharks date back over 400 million years, which means they were thriving long before the dinosaurs even appeared. Um, and this trivia stuff, I've got it written in a Word document, and I would go through and I would like cut out the question, post it on the Facebook thing, and then give them a couple answers to pick, and they would guess. Um, I think this will be a lot easier. Which animal is the only mammal capable of true flight, not just gliding? I don't know. The flying squirrel kind of stands out to me, but it's bats. Bats are the only mammals with wings formed by skin. That's kind of gross. I had a bat loose in my house one time. It was scary. But Maribel, if you search for me on Kendall RF Bradford, you'll see that book. It's fairly short for a fantasy book, but I'm hoping my 9-year-old will like it and actually read it. But yeah, bats are scary. This one was like flying around my head, like and doing laps in this room, and I'm like swinging a pillow at it as it flew by, and it was just like, you know, easily dodging me. I could feel the thing like flying by my head, not just the wind, but I think it's body heat I felt too, you know. I mean, it was creepy. And then finally I like was brave enough to kind of walk over to the door because I realized that it wasn't actually trying to attack me. It was trying to find a way out. And I opened the stupid door and it flew out, but it was crazy. And at that same house, another bat came in, and this time it was downstairs. And I was at first I was trying to like knock it out of the air for about 2 seconds, and then I opened the front door, and that time it was a lot less dramatic. But that first time, holy cow. How does a cat catch a bat? They were living in our chimney. We'd put in a pellet stove, and we weren't using the actual chimney. Um and they were just like nesting in there. We had to build this enclosure to get them that lets them out, but not back in because you can't kill bats in Oregon. So it was weird, but eventually they were gone, thankfully. I think I've got a video of it, one of them flying around my house. You just see this little like black smear um, on the screen. It's like getting to be about dusk, right? And then you see like this little black spot on the dusk blue sky flying around the house. Like that's what they did. Our neighbors said that they used to come down her chimney too. Bats have claws that are so sharp that if they scratch you, you might not even feel it. You might not even know you're scratched. And that's scary because, rabies is real and bats get it a lot. But yeah, this story, I've had a lot of fun writing it. It's like the opposite of true crime. I've written a really good horror story. But the thing with doing true crime, it's kind of like doing horror, but true stuff. And so in my horror story, it's a lot easier to digest because it's not real, but it's still kind of traumatic and stuff. This one is completely opposite. There's, this school in the sky. There's these 3 moons. It's a different planet. They've got these crystals that they use to make things, work. They don't have windows. Glass windows. They have these barriers that is produced by the crystal sciences, and that building over there that looks like it's floating. That's the school, and it's pretty interesting. I can't really say much about it. I think this blurb is pretty accurate still, but the story has changed many times, and it's got like many different endings. But I've been working on it for, I would say, a little bit before my son's birthday. I think September. I started writing it, just because of something my son said about whistling, and I was like, what if I used a magic power, gave some kid a magical power where he could whistle? That sounds unique, right? And then I remembered the Marvel show. What was it? The one with Rocket Raccoon, that guy that used whistling to like control this arrow. So it's not that unique. But it's evolved into something different now. There's steam pipes that whistle throughout the town to power the vibrations from the whistling causes the crystals to react with everything. So it's got a pretty intricate world. And it's really fun to write it. So I really hope that my son likes it. And I don't think I have actually, maybe I can share let me see if I could find the new cover. Oh, yeah. It's opening now. This is the new cover. Since I've updated it. And this one, you can see the school's actually floating. And I did write some like ancient lore about the moons. There's 3 moons on this planet, and like that yellow one, I think, is always like what do they call it? Rotating or no? Going. It's orbiting the moon. It's the moon's moon, and this other little one, it never is full ever, and it's never like caught up to the other ones. It seems like it's always trying to get in front, and it never does. I think it's an interesting story. At least I had fun writing it. I've spent so many hours on it. If Max doesn't like it, at least I'm proud of it. And at least I followed through on a promise. But this was like one of those promises I made, not knowing that it was going to be this much work. And we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. It was kind of an impromptu live. I wanted to do something this weekend, but I do need to get back to writing so I can make sure and finish this. I think I have 2 days left before I miss my deadline for the pre-orders. So it has to be ready. And I want to get rid of as many of the typos as I possibly can, and hopefully I can remember whose names I changed multiple times and don't, but yeah, Anyways, guys, have a good weekend and happy holidays. I'll catch you in the next one.